guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I am super excited you found us, and we are Creativity and Inspiration, and I'm Lisa. I'm so excited you're here, and today is going to be a super fun day. Last year around this time, maybe March, I put out a video about how to find paper dolls because things were expensive. They're even more expensive now, so I gave you some options that maybe weren't so costly, like your own photos, women off a pattern, magazine images, or the ones from Tim Holtz, depending on if you wanted to purchase something or not. So there is a lot of great options. But this time, I'm coming back to give you ideas for how to dress your paper dolls. A lot of you may be thinking, what? Huh? They're already dressed. But okay, picture this though. You have a journal or an art journal or mixed media piece, and you want to feature different types of maybe outfits, so you've gone to different sources, but especially journals. So you have maybe one of these ladies on page 2 of your journal, okay? Maybe she's a tag, maybe she's on the page itself, whatever, but she's there. And then on page 4, 5, 6, you have her. And then in the center, you have a few more. But they're all the same. There's nothing different about them. There's no surprise or interest. So maybe the people who are looking at your journal aren't so excited to keep flipping. Same thing with an art journal or maybe your mixed media piece. They're going to think, well, it's kind of boring. Maybe all her work's that way or all his work's that way. And it takes the interest, it takes the excitement, it takes the unknown out. So I'm going to show you how to take just the same kind of paper dolls I talked about last time and how to change them up. So from page to page or from work of art to work of art, mixed media piece to mixed media piece, they're different. And you keep your customers, your readers, guessing. So let's just jump right into this because it's going to be a fun one. First of all, if you're using a photo like this with 2 people, but you only want to use one person, you're trying to only use one paper doll, or something like this, don't be afraid to cut them apart. Just because they're together doesn't mean you have to keep them together, okay? So I'm going to do the photo first. And I'm just going to separate them. I'm going to cut out the suitcase. There's a suitcase right there. I'm going to cut it out, but save it. So let me... And you don't have to cut perfectly, or you can. It's, more what you want to do. If you didn't want the suitcase, you wouldn't have to be as careful. Okay. And I'm going to cut them out. Now, somebody may lose an arm, depending on how their arm is on the picture, or they may lose, a foot. Don't worry about it, especially arms, because just remember, people put their arms in their pocket or their hands in their pocket. So if you lose one, it's not a big deal. And you can cut them out as close to the person as you want, or you can leave, quite a bit of a background around them if you want. Okay. So there's that one, and let me go ahead and cut this lady out as well. And when you take the time to cut scenery out too, like the suitcase, if there was flowers, if there was a house, whatever, you're going to have more interest and give your paper doll more context. So just keep that in mind. Again, just to add interest, give the doll context in their surroundings, their settings, and it may add to your story if you're doing, say, a 1950s journal or maybe one about fashion. Suit luggage was and is considered fashionable. Okay, so I cut both of the women out that were in there. Hold on. Okay. And this one is holding a hat and a coat in her arms. And her dress is light and it kind of all blends. So what we're going to do is we're going to color her whole dress hot pink. And you'll see how much just changing one color makes these pop. So look how good that looks after it's colored. It pops. It's going to stand out from other paper dolls that are pictures because it has some color. Another way to dress up your paper dolls and make them different and more interesting and not boring is to add maybe some bling to them. So I'm going to cut out one of these ladies in this pattern. And another trick is you can actually cut out two, because you can cut the same shape out from the back side as well. And then you'll have one like you could use as a silhouette and one with the actual printed paper doll. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, and you can cut these out as close to the paper doll or the person on the pattern as you want, or as far away from the pattern as you want. So this one had her hand behind this other lady on the front of this pattern. So I'm going to give you an idea of what you can do with that as well. But let's get her all the way cut out. Then I'm going to cut out this arm part too, just because it needs to be, or it's going to look really weird on the one behind. Now remember, these are all vintage, so they are going to be fragile. So there is your paper doll all cut out from our pattern. She has her legs and everything. And then remember, we cut out 2 layers. We did the back layer as well. So now you have another one. How cool is that? I'll show you what you can do with that one in just a second. Okay, so let me move this all out of the way. And I'm going to lay her down here. Okay, so now you can see her. What we're going to do is we're going to make her a little blingy. And by blingy, I mean we're going to make her have a little sparkle on her top using this green sparkle ribbon I got from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to kind of measure it here. And remember, you want it to look good. You want it to follow the lines. You want people to believe it's a shirt. So this isn't just something that you can throw together and do. If you want something faster, use paint or markers or something like that. Because when you use fabric or bling, you're going to be cutting and kind of shaping as you go. And these are going to be this little peplum bottom. So I'm just going to cut out the bottom. It's too deep to make the little bottom here of the shirt. Also, you might want to invest in a pair of tweezers to work with the small stuff. Like I said, it's a little more time consuming, not what we're used to, but it turns out so amazing that it's definitely worth it. Okay. Now there's the bottom of her shirt. Now I'm going to come in and do the top part as well. So now we've taken a plain paper doll and blinged her up. How cool is that? Looks good. So that's an idea. Use bling to change the look. Okay. And now we're going to address her hand over here. She has a glove on this hand. So what you could do is take a piece of fabric and cut it out in the shape of a glove. You could have her holding flower bouquet, or maybe because it's Valentine's Day, have her holding a heart, something like that, and it doesn't look like she's missing a hand at all. And never be afraid to cut something apart, like I said before. Okay, so for this one, we're going to cut it apart. for something like these, you can do two things. You can use fabric snippets and cut and shape a dress just like we did with the bling, or you could use tracing paper, trace out the body of your doll, and then pin it to fabric and use it like a pattern and make your very personalized doll clothes either from fabric or paper. So that's an option too, and I'm going to show you using a snippet roll I have here, a fabric snippet roll. And let's see, guess I'll use her top for her top, and I think I'll use the flowers to go with the skirt. So I'm gonna use her, and I'm gonna make her top out of this blue fabric right here. So I'm gonna cut out the blue fabric. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of eyeball it and cut like I'm using a pattern to cut it out. And there we go. Now you can see what I've done is I've trimmed it down, and then when you put it on, it's going to look like a little top. I do need to cut the strap up here just a bit. Okay, now I'm going to get my glue and glue this on her. And there we go. And then you could decorate the skirt any way you wanted to, up to you. Okay, for this young lady, if you wanted to, you could paint her. You could use markers again. You could use paper this time, just like you used the fabric. You could do something with some ribbon. And I'm using spring colors just because I guess I want spring to come. Because her skirt looks very layered and like almost chiffon material or some type of netting material, I'm going to use some of this ribbon right here. I'm going to use some of this kind of ribbon right here and decorate her skirt, but leaving her top the same. And if you look there, okay, there, you can see her shirt is actually long, and it's the lighter part, and the skirt is darker at the bottom and looks like the layers of, like I said, chiffon or netting of some sort, tulle. So I'm going to attach my ribbon to that part and I'll trim it up at the top so it kind of looks like it's laying under her long tunic type top there. And I'll layer this in strips so it looks flowy just like hers does. And there we go. And how cool does that look? So much fun to alter paper dolls and dress them up and change how they look throughout your mixed media piece, your art journal, your junk journal, your anything in your planter. You know, you could take a large paper clip and put it on the back of one of your paper dolls, and for a planner have a super cute clip or a junk journal or anything else. So don't think you just have to leave paper dolls as paper dolls. You know, they can go on tags, they can go on journaling cards, of course, the typical things, but think about adding them to larger paper clips. Think about adding them as part of the interest on bigger items in your journals, like covers and that sort of thing. Add them on to our friend the bingo card. Look how good she looks on there. Okay, so don't be afraid to add your paper dolls and to decorate them and change their appearance from page to page. They don't have to be bland and they don't have to stay the same. Now, let's talk about the extra one that we made when we cut out our paper doll from the pattern. Okay? Okay, with our blank one, you can doodle on her if you want to. You can draw. You can make her all lace. Cover her head to toe in a lace. You know, fit it to her form. You could make her all sequins. Cover her in sequins and have a sequins paper doll, just solid sequins. You could do her in a printed paper. That would look really cool, like solid flower paper or something. Solid striped paper, like that. You could use stickers and cover her head to toe in stickers. You could use any of these on the other ones as well. Just use your imagination and don't be limited. Don't think they have to stay the way they look. Like, she didn't have to stay in her original outfit. We blinged her up. You could have put butterflies from our stickers on her top. That would have been cute. You could cut sequins in half and made a sequins top instead of this. On this one, you could have made a top out of die cuts. Put a butterfly as her top. I've even seen a fashion thing with butterflies shaped tops now. So you could have done that. On these little ones, again, use your sequins, use your little beads. You don't have to just keep doing the same things over. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Make a skirt. Decorate Our Lady with all flowers, or make a skirt of flowers. Don't limit yourself. You could do Zentangles. Make her a Zentangle. If you like to paint a pattern on her. You can do whatever you want to do with her, depending on how you're going to use her. So let's see. I'm into spring right now. I think I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to color her green and add a ton of butterflies. So I'm getting my markers back out, and I'm just going to color the whole body green. And for some texture, I could use this side if I wanted to, because it's got the pattern on it. But I don't want all that. I want it to be very clean, very simple. So I'm going to use this side with nothing and just color it green. Let's see if I can get... Oh, and guys, I'm going to DIY my desk soon. It looks terrible on the top. And I am going to DIY it into something really cool. So stay tuned. So I have her all colored. And she is our shadow. You could even use her as a shadow, kind of as a texture and interest point behind the original paper doll she mimics. Like that on a page. How cool would that look? Or you could use her as her own person. And we've colored her. Now let's add some stickers all over her. And then use her as decor in your book. Or you could use her as an artistic statement or a spring statement, something like that. So there's so many things you can do with your paper dolls. You don't have to leave them all the same. Think outside of the box. Think of, you don't dress the same every day, and you're not the same as every member of your family. Just think of being different. So today I've shown you some ways that you can add a little interest to your paper dolls, dress them up. They do take time. These are not fast things to do, but it adds so much more And not everybody or not all your paper dolls are going to look the same all the way through your journal. People are going to be interested. Oh, what does the next one look like? What does the next one look like? Or on your mixed media piece, you know, it's going to catch their eye. It's going to help move your piece along. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this piece on how to dress your paper dolls. Thanks for being here with me today, guys. Be sure and leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, hit that subscribe button and that little bell because there are more great videos coming. So stay tuned and leave me a comment down below. Which paper doll was your favorite? The blinged out, the ribbon, the fabric top, the paint, the marker, the hot pink one, or the artistic one? Let me know down below in the comments. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.